Good morning, Flosstube. Bam, stitching between the lines. Today is Monday, July 8th. Let me look. I just set the calendar, took a picture of it. July 8th, 2019. See, I remember to say the year. Just sunny, beautiful day. It was, it's up to 72. It was down in like high 50s overnight after being like sweltering, you want to lie down and die kind of weekend of heat and mugginess. So we're enjoying it. I went out and weeded flowers this morning. I wasn't really intending to, so I didn't have my gloves on. I'm looking to see how many scratches show up. We have a couple rose bushes, and these thistle things insist on growing in the rose bushes, and I'm determined that I'm going to defeat the thistles, and didn't have my gloves on. So anyway, the garden looks great with this weather. Holy cow. It's sunny, it rains, it's sunny, it rains. So the garden is loving it. My garden. I like my flowers. I spend a lot of time in the flowers. I'm looking at Murphy. He's down here. I don't vegetable garden. It's kind of we live in farm country, and there's a farm stand everywhere. So anything you want, anytime, you can just drive around the corner to one of the farm stands and get some zucchini or beans or corn or tomatoes or whatever. And I don't really can stuff. I mean, like a lot of people, we went through the phases of trying to can and freeze and make jams, and I don't know. So anyway, Murphy's having a hard time finding a spot. Murphy's had a rough ride here. I'm not sure if he'll make an appearance on screen. Murphy's had some surgery and is in the midst of recovery. It's been a hard, rough recovery. But he's doing okay. He's wearing a cone. He's not happy. So anyway, we won't even go into those details because sometimes it's just better to live in bliss, oblivious bliss. Anyway, see, look, okay, I don't even talk about the monkey in the room. What do you call it? What do you say? I don't know. The most obvious thing. Okay, so I went to StitchCon, right? That's not a surprise. We all know that. And many people said the same thing, that they want to see my quilts. I didn't want to turn this into a quilting kind of YouTube, although there are such things. I could if I wanted to have a whole separate channel, but I don't really want to. But I do appreciate that people like to see artwork of all forms, many forms. So I got out my quilt rack. I have a regular quilt rack, and I will occasionally put a quilt up there. Today it is Lori Holt's Farm Girl Vintage, which I just love this thing. I made it. All right, I will move. We'll focus a little bit over here. I made it a couple years ago. I know there's a label on there. I should have looked at it. I made it when the book first came out, and Lori on her blog did a quilt along where she did 2 blocks every week. So every week she would say, here's the 2 blocks we're going to do. You, of course, had to have the book to have the pattern. This is one of the best patterns ever. First of all, she's so super clear and concise in her instructions. This is not one of those quilts that uses the templates that you applique the pieces on. I have not tried one of those. I'm not a huge fan of applique. Well, I should take that back. I do some amazing applique quilts. I prefer machine applique, raw edge, and with her templates, I think that's the right word. They're cut out of plastic, and you form the fabric around them and kind of pull it tight. That style really looks better if you've hand stitched it down and not used your machine. And let me tell you, there are so many cross stitch pieces I need to be doing as opposed to hand stitching down little shapes. So I don't know. I have a pattern or two. I have some templates. I don't know. We'll see. You never know. Never say never. Anyway, this quilt, I did the 6-inch blocks. You could do them in 6-inch or 12-inch. This is plenty big enough, 6-inch. And then one of the things that was so stinking cute that she did with this and probably some of her others is she would take elements out of the quilt. Let me look. I'm looking for a particular block. Let me see if I can find it. It's a barn. The barn block, for example. Let's see if we can find it. Right, which way do I go? Right there. She would show that in the book, maybe made as a 12-inch block, and then she would make a 6-inch blocks to fit in the doorway, which was so stinking cute. That was the kind of thing she would pull elements out and make just a wall hanging or placemats or whatever, which was very cute. So I'm gonna reach in front of. I'm reaching in front of y'all. So this is what I made using the element of the cherries that were in the quilt. And I made this up. I just made up a cherry pie and a rolling pin block to put in there. I believe now she has one, a pie. I believe now she has something similar. But this is totally made up by me, not the cherry pattern. The cherry block is from hers, but the pie and the rolling pin. So this is just like a table topper, but I used the same border, the cherries. I have to look at the quilt pattern. Hang on, sorry. No, I just quilted it on my machine. This is one of my favorite if you need to quilt something small on your machine and you use an open toe foot. I just have this like weave, this wavy, and you just do them like, I draw the lines on maybe 2 inches apart and I just follow along, and it really does give just a really nice, simple, can do it on your domestic machine quilt. And then I took a picture of the back of that quilt to show you, but I don't think I need to because here I've used the same fabric for backing. Isn't that the cutest? That was just happenstance, found it at a quilt store. Bought enough of it to make the backing. It is perfect. This quilt hung in a show. I wasn't a member of the guild though where it hung. So it didn't win anything. I think they maybe gave a prize for non-member. I'm not really sure. But it got a lot of attention. A lot of people who knew me and saw it there commented on it, which is very nice. I don't make them for the purposes of anybody to see them or anything. But anyway, that's today's feature. My all-time favorite block, other than the cherries, is the chicks. Isn't that cute? Love the chicks. So I didn't buy a kit, didn't do anything like that. I just kind of bought some fabric, some fat quarter bundles and whatnot of fabrics that were, the style of her style. And I think it worked out well. One thing I fussed over was the background fabric. The background fabric on every block is a little bit different, but it's all polka dot. This one I think I just used the same red polka dot on all the cherries. I fussed. There's like orange polka dot and red polka dot and blue and light blue, like that. And it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even show that it's like I had on the design wall, I put up the blocks as we made them. I put them in their place, and then as the next blocks came along, I made sure I didn't use the exact same background fabric and that kind of stuff. That was probably a lot of wasted fussing. But anyway, I don't know. Maybe if they had been all the same, it would look different. I don't know. It just really doesn't show, but you don't know what would have shown had you done everything the same. So, but anyway, there's Lori Holt. Enjoy Lori Holt's Vintage Farm Girl today, during today's Flosstube. We'll see how many more quilts I manage to get up there. But let's talk just a minute about StitchCon. We're only going to talk about it a minute because I was there and I'm tired of hearing about it. I know there's some people who just can't get enough, but all the things. Everybody said all the things already. The venue was nice. It was comfortable. The hotel was nice and comfortable once I actually got in a room that had been made up for me, despite the emails I got about a room being ready. So that I believe the hotel, as nice as it was, struggled with having help. So, but it was very comfortable. Nobody chased us out of anywhere. Nobody said you can't be in this little, room or stitching over here or in the dining room or whatever. It was kind of a bar, restaurant-y area. And so, let me think. I got to meet lots of people. I'm no different than anybody else. I fangirl people. I look forward to meeting people. I'm shy about going up to meeting some people. I don't know why. I was thinking about last night. What made me not go introduce myself to somebody whose videos I really like and I comment on them and I look forward to those videos? I don't know. I think it is that it was evident that they don't watch me, so they don't know who I am. So I felt like, and like the people who come up to me, I don't know who they are, and they still came up to me. But I think it's just overwhelming. It's overwhelming after a while, and for me to go up and say, "Oh, I love your videos. I watch them all the time. I'm so and so." And by the way, I also have a Flosstube channel. And then they feel bad because they're like, that kind of thing. And somebody else did that early on when we first arrived, and said, "Oh, they didn't know I had." I'm like, "It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We can't all watch everybody. There's people here I don't watch, who watch me." I don't know. I just felt, I don't know. There was something that didn't let me go introduce myself to them and talk to them. So I understand how it is on all ends of the spectrum. But I got to sit with my friends that I sat with last year that we've gotten to know each other through Flosstube. Most of them, not all of them, do Flosstube, like Nicole, Buckeye Stitcher, Marlene, and Kathleen of Kathleen's Trodden Trail, and Julie McConnell of Reflections. And then my friend Penny and Julie's friend Sherry, who now, we could call our friend too. We've sat together for a couple years now at StitchCon. So, and it's enjoyable. And I knew other people there, and I got to visit with lots of people, and it's nice. It is nice to get to see people I would never otherwise get to see. People have commented on all the things about the space and the whatevers, and we were comfortable. Like I said, it was fine. I am very, very, very efficient at blocking out noise and activity around me when I'm concentrating. So noise doesn't really bother me, like background din. I do know people who have said to me, though, it was too loud. So if you're noise sensitive, I would say think about it. Think and plan about if you really want to go, how you will cope with that. I don't know. Think about, do you really want to, like for me, the noise doesn't bother me. Again, noise doesn't bother me. And I also, even if noise did bother me, don't really want to go back to my room and be stitching by myself. I need a magnifier, so I can't really just pick up and move to, say, the hotel lobby, because I need a plug, I need someplace to set it, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, that kind of stuff, whatever. So think about it, though. It's enjoyable. I know lots of people, it was the time of their life. I don't want to say, I don't want to be like the jaded old lady. I've been going to retreats for a lot of years. A lot of years. My first retreat, I can't even really remember. I've been to the Silver Needles several times, and I can remember especially the first time being over the moon excited and having a great time. As the years go by, the novelty wears off. You still have fun, still happy to go, still happy to see things, but I just don't feel like I have to be at everything, doing all the things. So anyway, that really is a glowing report. I'm not going to show you all the things we got, because people have done it, and I don't want to really belabor the point of the gifts I received, because I thanked everybody in person. I don't want somebody to feel like they're friends with whoever. Why didn't they get a gift? So, I mean, those are the things. People they go with gifts in mind and hand them out, and that's all well and good. I gave out gifts too, and I'm not talking about those either. So what did I do at StitchCon? Well, I took 2 projects and worked on one. I get like that. I get like in a role on a project, and I don't want to put it away. So if everything's going along swimmingly, why stop? So what I took to work on was Prairie Schoolers Tree Farm. which I have been working on here at home for a long time. Just a little pickup here and there whenever. The thing that's kind of cool about this pattern, it's such a classic prairie schooler look in book 198. So this is like one of the last things they made. It was fun to stitch. I enjoyed stitching it. It's on some random piece of fabric that I had kitted up. No idea where it came from. I think it's 32 count linen. And you can see it's not even cut like appropriately exactly for this pattern, but it's fine. I'm not going to frame it. So I had, what did I have done before I went? I'm not really sure, but I did this deer twice because I did it the wrong color, and I did a ton of trees. I did the car with the tree on top at StitchCon, and I did the fox and more trees, and when I came home I only had to finish the border going around and a few trees in the fox, I think. Not a lot. I didn't have a lot to do once I got home, so I finished it. Not at StitchCon, but I dedicated all my time, and I really do get stitching done at a stitching retreat. I'm there to stitch. I'm there to visit too. I spend a lot of time just sitting in my seat stitching. And then after I finished that, I decided, because this was in it to do, it'll be showing you. Let me see if I can do it without showing you the pattern. The pattern comes with 2 ornaments. I had already made this ornament a few years ago and had this little cut of fabric in the bag to do the other ornaments, so I did that. You can see I've done something that's caused it to be wrinkled. I don't know, several years folded up in a project bag. I don't know how that kind of thing could happen. It's a cute little cutie. So I need to, at Christmas time when I get out the original one, see what I did to finish it and see about doing the same thing. So, there it is. The other pattern I took to StitchCon and never got out of the bag was, sorry, it's inside out, Bent Creek's Summer Soapbox. And I talked about this one. This was a Mania start, and the only thing I accomplished was this. In preparation for StitchCon, I boxed in everything, including the boat and the sails, on down. I think I'm this far of boxing things in. And then, of course, so that was quick, easy fill-in I was thinking about for StitchCon that I never got to. So when I got home and finished, the Prairie Schooler, I got it out and I did the sail and the boat. I can't find my Liberty color thread. I had in there, in my bag, I had Liberty Red. I pulled it out, I stitched it, and I thought, wow, this is weird. Pulled it back out. So the blue that's Liberty goes in there and finishes like the waves. I did the alphabet. And then I just have more empty boxes and a few of waves there. So that was a Mania start that's kind of moving along. We'll see if it stays that way. So Summer Soapbox by Bent Creek. I did the Winter Soapbox, I don't know, a year and a half ago. I don't know. And then I don't really care for the fall one. And in my last video, I think I said I only had the winter and the summer, but I ran across spring in my bins of goodness recently. So that one's being worked on, and I really need to track down some Liberty. I'm pretty sure it's in another project somewhere. Oops. Oh, what am I doing? I'm touching the keyboard of my computer. And then at StitchCon, this is the last time I'm saying those words, I swear it. Let me just check through my stuff and make sure I'm not lying. Yeah, I think so. No, not entirely true, because I have a bag of a few things I purchased. I really didn't buy much. But I am going to talk about one gift I got. Sorry, didn't ask if I could say her name. I'm just going to say Lori. I've gotten to know her in the last couple StitchCons and Flosstubing through comments. She's a real regular commenter. I'm supposed to be doing a stitch along with her for Ornaments All Around. Who's that by? It has escaped me. I don't remember. She's been working away on hers, and I can't seem to make myself put a stitch in. So I got it out once to start it, and I didn't have the first thread that you need to start the beginning and right in the center. So I put it away, and then I got out the supply list, and I went and I got all the specialty threads and stuff. Still haven't started it. So anyway, Lori has been a frequent, always comments, and she's so sweet. And she brought me a gift last year when we were supposed to be not supposed to be doing ornaments all around. I made us both matching project bags. No idea. My stuff is in my matching project bag. So anyway, she brought me some of these. I love these plastic bags because, not, you know what I mean. They're mesh. Love the color. Never saw this color before, but I love these because they're really easy when you go somewhere because they zip shut. They're waterproof. But she brought me some goodies, which was so stinking sweet of her. She brought me a Kelly, oh my God, Bitsy Bob, right? Where you save your little bits of your thread as you're working. And there's a magnet under the little needle spot, so you can, you know, if you have a little bit of thread and you're not using it up yet, place it here and it'll stick because it's felt. And then you can put the bobbins in here. So it's a very handy device. I have one. It gets put away in a project though, so honestly don't know what project it's in, but it's in a project because I saw it not that long ago. And then so she gave me 2 size bags, and in the one was a couple cuts of fabric. Aren't they beautiful? Very nautical, very water, which is my kind of thing. Luminous Fiber Arts. Let me make sure I've got them both right. And the other's from Stitchville. Isn't that cool? Cool, cool. Very cool. And then she stitched me a little goodie, which I am in love with because we both like all things nautical. Isn't that the cutest? Love that. That is just adorable, and the stitching is perfect. Oh, thank you, Lori. I thanked you in person. We visited. We had some time to visit. It's really nice. It's nice to get to see people who I have, other than through some commenting, have no real means to, you know, visit with. And then again, okay, now I'm seriously done saying anything about StitchCon. One book off the freebie table actually has 3 patterns in it. 4, 1 for each season. Yep, has all those 3. I really got it because of this. I purchased a Sue Hillis water. We grew up camping, camped when my kids were growing up. And then when they went to college and were working at a summer camp, they're like, could we not go camping anymore? I was good with that. I bought another Sue Hillis at Keepsakes and Waxing Moon's Patriotic House Trio, which I swear I never would have bought, but Penny was working on this one sitting next to me, and it's so pretty. It's that thing about when you see them done. And then I made sure I was at the store, at the Annex, to get some color and cotton, because last year I was over at Keepsakes when the trunk shows opened, and when I came back, the table was bare. So there's a gray. I like even weaves. I like 2832s. So there's a gray and 2 yellows. I did color and cotton fabric of the month for a year, and my absolute favorite was a yellow that you can't get on the website anymore. It might have been called Pound Cake. I don't know. I might be lying. I have a piece I'm working on FFOing that I stitched on the yellow, so maybe I'll have it written down. These are called Lemonade. So pretty. And then a neutral, which, there we go. It's called Seashell. So, I was not a big spender, not even a little bit. I only took 1 thing off the free table. Isn't that something? I kept looking through the bag thinking, is it really only 1? Really only 1? Like, I would bring things back to the table and think about them and study them and give it some thought, and then I would put them back. I don't know. Partly, maybe, because I haven't stitched a single thing I either bought or got from the free table last year. I don't know. I have no shortage of anything, so life will go on, and it'll be all good. So, back to the stitching. You know, when I did Stitch Mania and I went through mine included whips and enough new starts to come up to 19, I said I have to finish 2 things before I can start one more thing so that I can keep paring down the number of whips. I maybe have 10 or 9 things done. I don't know. See, my list is somewhere. I haven't come across it. But one of the general rules was that if I finished a prairie schooler, I could start another prairie schooler. I didn't have to finish 2 things. So my start is July. I'm going to do this, and then when I cut the piece of fabric, I cut 2. There was enough fabric and I have a serger, so I serged around the edges, and then there was a little bit of the fabric left that I cut in half, and it's enough to do 2 ornaments. So again, I'm almost just like back to the other one where I have the piece and fabric for 2 ornaments. So I'm doing July, and I just started it. I just started that very center. My next thing will be to move to the house, but I don't feel any like pressure to have this be a regular piece, because always prairie schooler, right? I'm doing it on a piece of just white even weave, and I got the fabric out and the threads out, and I actually needed to purchase some threads to do the next word play. I actually had gotten out July, and right off the bat, I didn't have thread, as I'm going down through the list. So I pulled out another one that was more promising, and I think I need 3 threads to do. What is this, April, August? It's August wordplay. I actually will be honest and say I looked for pieces with the least amount of stitch motifs and most words. Although really, when I got serious about it, this lady is kind of big. I don't know, I'm starting late. I don't want to fall real far behind, so I was looking for a piece with less stitching. I'm not sure that'll fit the bill, but there it is. Let's see, I'm looking through my pile. I'm working on preparing for another getaway weekend. Let's see, today's the 8th. We leave on the 20th. So, got papers out for that. It's a quilt thing. See, when you combine the cross stitch and the quilt, it's exhausting. The opportunities, it's exhausting. I'm exhausted. Poor me. Woe is me. I also made one purchase in the course of the last month or whatever, and this one, the minute I saw it, seriously, summer quilts. So I really would like to do a drum. I'm trying to think if I have another pattern for a drum. I might. It just doesn't call to me. I might have, I don't remember. Or in my mind, I've been watching for a drum. Well, quilts, like they're on the clothesline. How stinking cute is that? And you can't even see the whole picture of it. That somewhere along the clothesline, I believe there's a lady. Oh, wait, here we go. That's what it'll look like. Is that cute? How cute is that? So, I'm going to try that into a drum someday. And then I have one FFO. I have one that's almost done. I'm kind of working on the embellishing of it on my wall of shame or of finished things that I can't figure out what to do with. I had this November snapshot. I bought this at Stitchville, went specifically looking for it. They had it. Took me forever to stitch it. I screwed it up, but I just kept right on going. It came out nice. I bought this frame. I don't know. It's an unfinished frame. Spray painted it. Fits in. Love it. Looks cute. It's not like super duper professionally finished because once you get the piece in with some batting, there's no room for the back of the frame, so it's just taped on with like Gorilla Tape or whatever, so it shouldn't come off. I don't know. I do my best. It's not worth the investment in a little ditty to go to get it framed, so put that away with my fall things. And I have one vintage that maybe I showed you already. I really don't remember, except that this is the time of year when it comes out. And if somebody really needs to know the designer, I'll go find it, because this is one of those patterns I'm not getting rid of. But I did it in '07, so I'm not, no surprise that 12 years ago I can't remember. It's a monochromatic. The color is Crescent Colors and Wavy Navy, which is my favorite. So probably this is where I fell in love with it. Somebody did one I saw where the flag stripes were red, and that added a cool element. But I really, the one color was so cool. And then I sent it out to a finisher, and she did a really nice job. So that's it for my pile over here. Except I made a note. I lost a note that I made to bring up something. Excuse me while I just look, because I could have sworn I just saw it. Oh, crud. Well, fiddlesticks. Oh, there it is. Phew. It's here. I just want to make sure I can give the name exactly. So, I'm going to the Amana Colonies Midwest retreat in October, and I feel like the top of my head's cut off. It has been the whole video. What do I care about the last 3 minutes? So anyway, I'm going to the Amana Colonies retreat with the Midwest Cross Stitchers this fall in October, and I will be flying in because it's like twice as far as Cincinnati, and I didn't even drive there. I am planning. I'm not going into detail here because this is not necessarily the place. What I'm going to do is tell you where to go and look. If you're going to that retreat, then you are a member of the private Facebook page called the Midwest Cross Stitchers Fall 2019 Retreat Amana Colonies. I wrote it all out exactly like it showed. The only people that can see it and view it are those who have paid attendees. So I'm going to post something on there about a little side trip I am planning to make. If anybody is even curious, go look. If anybody cares. Facebook is not my game. I really would happily disconnect myself from Facebook, except that it is useful for information. So I don't use my real name on Facebook. Let's work my way up to that. I made my account years ago. Well, I made a Google account years ago when my daughter was in college, my oldest daughter, and she went to Spain for her semester abroad. She had to write, or she wrote a blog, and I wanted to be able to comment on her blog. And not have everybody like, oh, look, there's your mother again. So I made it under a fake name. And then I had to, for a few years later, I had to create a Facebook page because I was missing information about a trip I was going on. So I just used that same fake name, and I have modified it somewhat. But I always, when I post, I do identify myself. Certainly in the beginning of the flow of a conversation, I always do say who I am. So if you're looking and be like, that's not stitching between the lines. Like I said, in the beginning, I do identify myself as to who I am. So I'm going to make a post in the next couple days. My husband has to be away the days before I would leave for that trip. And so I'm not sure. I'm going on Wednesday. I'm not sure if I can go on Tuesday or not, or the whole logistics of it all. Probably I'm going to have to keep it to going on Wednesday, so that the little side excursion I want to make would be on Wednesday, which I think is October 16th. So look, if you're interested, look on the Midwest Cross Stitchers Fall 2019 Retreat Amana Colonies. And I will post on there and see if there's any interest or advice on this adventure. I feel like this may be the one and only time I ever get over there, to that area. And I also want time, like on Thursday, I want to check out what there is to see in the Amana colonies, historically or whatever, and shopping. We all like to shop, right? So anyway, watch for that in the next couple days. I have some other travel arrangements I need to be making. Because like what? I don't need to sleep in my own bed for more than a couple weeks at a time, right? Anyway, those are the things. I don't think I forgot anything. My pile on one side of my computer is empty, and it's full over here. I don't know. All the things. Happy summer, happy stitching. I will talk to you all soon. Bye.